In this video, we're going to talk about how to achieve a more neutral seated position if you're someone who struggles with a forward head and forward upper rib cage. So when we talk about maintaining balance in really any upright position, we're going to have a certain amount of weight shifting forward and back. And if we have this alternating weight shifting, our center of gravity should then end up somewhere in the center instead of in the front or in the back. So when it comes to sitting, we're naturally going to be biased towards having a little bit more rounding in the low back. That's normal. But if we really sink back here and our center of gravity starts to go too far back, we're then going to have to bring something forward to be able to balance that out. And so often what we might see is that lumbar spine comes back, pelvis rocks back, and then we might reach forward with the head and upper rib cage. So in this case, we just have that head and upper rib cage being the forward force, and we have that lumbar spine being the backward force. So in order to get to a little bit more of a neutral position where we can actually stack the head, rib cage, and pelvis, we need to bring these things into a better relationship. So we might start here by first giving us some room to move into by actually arching this back a little bit, just to the point where we feel a neutral position in the low back and a little bit of contact with the sit bones. So now we have the lumbar spine pushing forward a little bit, and this creates this counterforce that we can use to then lean back against with this upper rib cage and head. So if I allow this head to come back and upper rib cage to come back over that pelvis while maintaining a little bit of that counterforce, now we're going to have the cranium stacking over the rib cage, stacking over the pelvis. And if you're someone that tends to have that forward head, chances are this front of your neck is pretty tight. So as you're bringing your head back over that rib cage, you're going to think about letting go of tension here in the front of the neck and having this nice open position and kind of allowing that rib cage to, yes, come back, but also just kind of settle down. And you'll feel that weight very centered in the sit bones. And you should just practice sitting here with some awareness of cranium, rib cage, and pelvis. Let those shoulder girdles kind of self-adjust, and then see if from here you can do your reaching and tasks in front of you without defaulting back to this kind of a position.